Hey, it's Molly. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at the Cancer new moon happening on June 25th, 2025 at 6:31 a.m. Be sure and adjust for your location. The Cancer new moon is happening at 4 degrees of Cancer, 7 minutes in your chart. So you want to identify where you have 4 degrees of Cancer by house placement. You do not need to have any planets or points in Cancer to be working with this new moon. It happens for everybody, but you do want to know which house, since this is where the new beginning is happening, and you especially want to know because of the conjunction to Jupiter. This is a rare conjunction. It's actually the only new moon that will be conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. So this brings in more growth, abundance, manifestations, happiness, joy. That Jupiter influence is very important here as we look at these energies in Cancer. Cancer is cardinal water, which means it's initiating the growth of your emotional body, your feelings, your internal world. It's taking you forward into new experiences that are ready for you to learn from. Jupiter expands the energy field and also provides a spiritual protective bubble here that brings in a protected new start and also expands what's possible. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. This means it is performing well in this sign, and it's where we want to feel good. We want to have a sense of hope, optimism, happiness, success, love, connections. All of that is amplified with this new moon. And that's why you want to know where you have this new moon, because with Jupiter signaling that there is growth here, things could come about quite easily. Jupiter wants us to feel more grace and ease and also good fortune. So overall, this is a beautiful new moon to initiate something that you're definitely feeling drawn to, because the Cancer energy is about getting out of the mind and dropping into the heart, allowing those feelings to guide you and to trust that they're coming up for a reason. Now, this can also be a focus on simply feeling good about life or feeling that you're ready for a break. That's another part of the Cancer energy here, is that we move from the busyness of Gemini season into the take a break, chill out at the beach, and don't feel rushed Cancer vibe. So it might be a time when you're just ready to do less, exhale, and take it slow. Now, if you have work, which it's a Wednesday, so most of us have to work on the Cancer new moon, these three energies here that are starting something new for you are working favorably with Mars in Virgo now. Focused, practical, productive. Let me get to my do list. Let me check in with my body. How is it operating? What do I need? This Mars in Virgo will eliminate anything that is not effective or useful. So there's a streamlining effect that's in place at this time with Mars now here and working favorably with the new moon. A great time for new projects and new endeavors that you want to start or perhaps return to. There could be a sense of, I'm ready to focus on this. I want to make some progress with it, and it feels beautifully supported. So this is going to be a good energy for what you're ready to take forward. It also feels like Mars is bringing in the practical gifts of what you need to do, because all of this Cancer will be like, nah, maybe later. And then the responsible part of you is like, well, okay, I should take care of this and at least make some progress, make some headway. Mars in Virgo is also about just taking the basic, simple steps, to not overcomplicate it or not commit to too much, but just do what you can with what you have. So another part of the new moon energy is the fact that these 3 planets in Cancer are squaring Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Now, we have been talking about this square through the month as it is a big part of June's energy signature. The energies in Aries are initiating you into new potentials in your life, showing you a new option, new way of being, new consciousness that is serious, it's important, you're meant to take note of it. You're also meant to be aware of what you need to plan or prepare in order to make the dream happen or to get in place for where something can go. And that's because it's in the very beginning of Aries, which is the very beginning of the full zodiac wheel here. So there is a sense of connecting to the new dream, the next endeavor, a new start. And the square to the new moon brings up your feelings around it, what you're sensing and feeling. And Jupiter's making those feelings bigger. And it can also be bringing up memories or past experiences, where you've been, what you've been through, because Cancer does hold the energies of what has unconsciously shaped you and formed you, especially from childhood. And this is a part of yourself that could be hesitant or afraid of the new start that you want. Now, keep in mind that the planets in Cancer are all going to move forward. And they're not going to come back to the square. And so it does make this new moon extra potent in terms of what you're meant to feel so you can grow from it. Remember, our friend Jupiter here is supporting whatever you're realizing and emotionally connecting to. The desire to move ahead in a new way is really strong, but there could be a sense of, but I don't want it to be like the past, or I don't want to relive an experience I've closed out. So the memories could be coming through here and affecting what the Aries energies are requiring you to prepare for. Aries is also a cardinal sign that is a beginning and initiation energy. So you have these 2 cardinal signs creating a square. This is feminine, this is masculine. Every square is a feminine and masculine energy tension. Different approaches, different needs. How does this work together? How does this come together? Can it come together? And how do we co-create it? Because the Aries energy, this is actually slow moving Aries energy with Saturn and Neptune here. So there's greater consideration and it's more intentional and deliberate. And this Cancer energy wants to ensure that you're feeling it, your heart is connected, it's that a part of you feels alive with what the new beginning is. But I'm feeling like there's a strong catalyst energy here, which I've mentioned on my podcast for June, is that there's a push forward that challenges the past, either the past version of yourself, past needs, past experiences, but you're meant to stand strong in the new because these energies are stronger overall. So there's a sense of stay committed to this new beginning, even if there's challenges or an emotional process that you're moving through around it. So not only do we have these 2 planets in Aries squaring these 3 in Cancer, but then we also have this Chiron at 26 Aries squaring Mercury at 28 Cancer. So you can see how there's a lot of tension here in the Cancer and Aries areas of your chart around what you want to begin And then this Mercury and Chiron bringing up big sensitivities, maybe defensiveness, perhaps something from, again, an earlier experience or childhood, and showing you a fear to work through, but to not believe your thoughts because of how this Mercury in Cancer can be very subjective and needs to process out what was and how it's different than what is. So the Aries houses and Cancer houses in your chart are these two parts of ourselves that are squaring off and feeling that push to evolve and approach the new beginning with ultimately more emotional maturity. And this Mercury is receiving some support from Uranus now at that critical anaretic degree of Taurus, bringing up important changes that are needed. Whenever a planet's at the very end of a sign, it's a culmination point, it's a graduation point, and it brings more intensity to what Uranus and Taurus has been learning since 2018. Well, not just learning, but having to rapidly change, adjust, the sudden starts and stops, the roller coaster, the ups and downs, all of it. And so this is a very buzzy Uranus in Taurus, and it's helping Mercury make the changes that are part of his highest and best good right now. That's also because Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Every personal planet has a higher octave in the outer planets. And so when this Mercury is in a good aspect to Uranus, the mental understanding comes through faster. There can be breakthroughs in awareness. And it can help jolt this Mercury out of the past and realize, well, I'm different, I'm new, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the changes that are showing up, even though I might have some fears, doubts, and worries as well. So there is tension here that's requiring forward movement, emotional development, and growth. You might have been feeling that throughout June, but it certainly is showing up with this new moon. Now, we also have in play 2 finger of God aspects. And so now I'm going to make a quick adjustment here through the magic of very advanced technology. See, we don't need AI for everything. I can draw green lines. Okay, this is showing you 2 yods. I'm going to break it down. Yods are when you have 2 planets in a sextile, and then both are in conjunct a planet. So we have 1 finger of God with the new moon and Mars in a sextile, receiving tension from this Pluto, retrograde at 3 degrees Aquarius. The second yod is Pluto sextiling both planets in Aries, and they are creating a yod, finger of God, to Mars. And this is interesting for a few reasons. First, it directly involves the new moon. Second, it also involves these planets in Aries that we were just discussing the tension around. Then it also involves, of course, Pluto and Mars, who were in that ongoing opposition since last November. And here they are in this in conjunct And they're on very different pages and very different timelines. And that's what I feel is happening here with these two fingers of God. So you have these energies in Cancer that are about how you feel today, in this moment, a connection to what you need, and basically tapping in to the beat of your heart. So it's very much the present, and it is connected to the past, but there's a sense of this is what I'm feeling and sensing right now. Then you have this Mars, as we looked at, in focused Virgo, that is also aware of what I can handle today. What are the priorities? What is essential? I'm going to focus on that, move it ahead, improve what I'm working on, and allow it to be how I spend my day. So these two energies are very much in the current present timeline, and they're feeling that finger of God, Yod, up against future focused Pluto in Aquarius that says the future is actually here. A lot is happening behind the scenes. A lot is advancing that is disrupting our everyday routines. And we're not quite seeing it, but we're feeling it. Okay, yes, we are seeing things, but there's things that we're not seeing. And we have an awareness that there's this big cycle happening beyond the everyday that's advancing our planet into new realms, new experiences, and we're sensing it. It's there, and there's a discomfort with it. And that's what a finger of God is. It's a discomfort between, well, this is how I know my life now, and I know that it's not going to stay like that for long. So we're sensing and deeply feeling this Pluto in Aquarius changing our world permanently, working behind the scenes, and we're aware of it, but we're also like, okay, head down. I can't handle all that right now. Let me just focus. Then you have this Pluto syncing up in a sextile to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which is the new that is happening, the new paradigm, the new beginnings, what we are bringing through that is going to be birthed. And we have a sense of a new day is dawning, and we're moving into these new parts of ourselves that are affecting the 3D Saturn and changing our world very deeply, but we don't know how yet. Unconventional, disruptive, exciting, inspiring, definitely bringing in changes that maybe you've been waiting your whole life for. And so the sextile between these planets is focused on Mars. And Mars has already been in that tension with Pluto, but now is feeling it again and is sensing that it's an overload. The new is not clear, and what is advancing is removing the priorities that this Mars in Virgo is used to and changing those Virgo routines, patterns, lifestyles, what we go about doing in a day, how we do it. The how is Virgo. How. And the how is being radically disrupted by not only Pluto, but of course, the new energies in Aries. So all in all, this Cancer new moon is bringing about radical new understandings of where we're going. This is the bigger cycle timeline, the new paradigm timeline that's advancing us, coming up against what we know, what is secure, what is a comfort zone, challenging that. And so I would expect that as we move further through June and into July, there's going to be even more revelations around what is no longer being used, where there are going to be more closures, shutdowns, perhaps jobs changing, which is also this Mars in Virgo, where the new is coming in. It's advancing us, but it's also deeply affecting us emotionally and energetically. There's good things with it, of course, that we can see the silver lining and understand what we're evolving. But I feel like there's something here. This Uranus is going to be bringing in some big changes between this new moon and the upcoming Capricorn full moon, because Uranus changes signs and moves into Gemini July 7th. And then we have the Capricorn full moon. So this Uranus is important too, because of the changes that are going to be seen and visible, and the structures that are, again, going to be changing in our physical world. It's the earth signs that are experiencing the most drastic changes. Planets in earth signs. And we're at the midpoint of the year. A lot more is going to speed up in July and August. So prioritize what you love and enjoy. Take that vacation. Make sure to be aware of how your physical body is handling everything going on, including any guilt, stress, or worry. And ultimately, I hope this Cancer new moon is bringing you into the heart of this Jupiter in Cancer, to know that you're guided, protected, and well cared for during this particular cycle. So as always, thank you for joining me for this new moon video. I'll be back with another one for the Capricorn full moon, and wishing you beautiful developments here with this Jupiter presence as we close out June 2025.